What's going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Man Up Real Talk podcast for the people. For those of y'all that didn't see that, Phil was actually breakdancing during the intro. I wish y'all could. I mean, he was really. I ain't seen Phil cut a step like that in a minute, and I'm surprised he was able to get up out the floor in time. But listen, I appreciate everybody that's joining us on this evening. Why are you looking so bewildered, bro? Are you okay?
No, I'm trying to get back to this. There you go. I'm back. No, see what you saw me, but I clicked on something on my laptop, man. Don't worry about me, Mike. Just do it.
You need to be going on a different device on Pornhub, sir. Another device.
Oh Lord!
Not what you use for business. Business mix the business with pleasure. Can't do that. I'm just saying. Hear me. I am woman. Woo, man. Just saying. Sorry. Let me take a sip.
Oh
And
my
this
God.
is just cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper.
she said she need to go on porn somewhere else.
So look, I appreciate you all for joining us on this evening, and as you all know, look, I appreciate every like, every click, every share, and every download that you. I messed up the whole. Listen, y'all know the intro. If it's this your first time joining, welcome. If this your second time, third, fourth, fifth, welcome back because your boys and your girl is back on the air with the Man Up Real Talk podcast for the people. And as you can see, I'm never by myself because joining me is Mr. Philip Hines, aka Mr. Classic, aka OG Triple OG.
You too, Phyllis.
Building.
You too. You too,
One
Phyllis.
more time for the audience. You got to break it down. One more time, Phyllis. Mr. OG Triple OG is in the building.
You got to take it down to the floor.
How y'all doing?
Phil, you gotta lock them up at the end. You gotta lock them up. I'm just saying.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stack them.
Oh,
she said stack them.
Oh, phone them. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, phone them. On Larry Bernard. On Larry Bernard.
It was not supposed to start. You know what? I'm sure. Look, our guest is probably sitting in the back on. I am never coming back on this man.
Oh, he can see us.
Yes, he can see and hear everything.
Yeah. I bet you like. What did I get myself into?
Sorry.
It was better when it was just the one. These other two was crazy.
Wow, Mike, where did you find them?
I'm sorry. Let me act like a lady
on here.
Jesus Christ, Pornhub. Oh my
Let me be a
God.
lady. Let me take a sip.
And also joining us is Miss Phyllis, aka Miss Unbothered, aka the last of a dying breed, is in the building.
Right.
Once I die, there will be no more. That's it. That's it. That's all. Once I'm gone, that's it. That's it.
Speaking on the fact that if you go to Phil's search engine and press P, I wonder what's gonna come up.
You know what, Mike? We're gonna leave that alone now, Mike. We're not gonna do that.
It's
We're not gonna do that.
Let's Jackie here. Jackie, I need you to test that. Feel the type of person. Look, feel the type of person. If you get arrested, Mike, I need you to delete my search history. What are we doing?
We ain't.
Don't question me. Just go delete it for me, man. Just wipe it out.
Delete it,
Don't
fam.
question me, man.
Wipe the drive.
What's wrong, black folks? They always gotta ask, man. If I ask you to do something, just do it.
Lord Jesus, you always gotta ask questions.
My bad. Let me get my life together so we can get to our guest.
All right, bring it in.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Bring it in. Listen, I appreciate all of y'all that's joining us on today. I see Jackie's in the chat. Mother Latham,
Jackie.
God bless your ministry, Mother Latham.
Where's Mother Latham?
Mother Latham, she in the chat. We appreciate her. Juan Mill is in the building. What's good, What's good, family?
Hey,
Appreciate you.
Luan.
Hey, wait. Hey, Luan.
Hey, Luan.
Hey, Luan.
Nephew.
Hey, Wani.
Wait, nephew. Hey, Jay is in the building. What's going on, Jay? We appreciate you. And whoever else is watching, if you didn't comment in the chat, it's all good. We still appreciate you. Listen, real quick. Before we get started, I need y'all to do something for me. Why is it a shadow right there?
Because of your light.
But look, I need y'all to do me a favor. Real quick.
I know. Brennan is like, what the
It's
heck?
so no, I'm because I'm not used to having it like right here.
Why is
And
the
so I'm like,
shadow?
what is that? I'm
That
making
light in your
birds and
face,
everything.
young man. No,
I'm like,
come on, Mike. Don't start doing birds and stuff, man. Stay on point, man. Stop, man. Stay on point.
okay. Look, I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to like, click, and I need y'all to like this video. I need y'all to share it, and I need y'all to tag people in the video. Okay,
Please
it's free
and thank
90.
you.
It's free 99. It don't cost
Yes,
you
it
nothing.
is.
Probably take about 5 seconds for you to do it.
Mhm.
I need y'all to like it. I need y'all to tag somebody in it. And if you don't tag anybody in it, at least share it. What that does is it shows activity on the video and it helps our algorithm get out there a lot more. Listen, y'all been doing real good.
Oh yeah,
Y'all been doing real good.
appreciate it.
Real. I gotta get my Bernie Mac on. Look, y'all been real good with it. Real good.
You
And,
quick on your feet. Quick on your feet.
Quick on your feet. That's good. That's real good. Y'all quick on your feet with that. And I appreciate it. And yeah, so let's do that and get that out there. Listen, I don't want him sitting in the back watching us act a fool for too much long. I want to bring him out because we are in the midst of a month-long celebration for Black History. This month we are celebrating Black authors, and I had this young man on before. And I wanted him to come back on because I really enjoyed the conversation that we had last time. And he has a wonderful book. Phyllis, do you have the book? Can you hold it up?
I do. I did purchase it.
Look.
Wait.
Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get with your magic screen in the background.
Just sit back and put it up,
Sit
Phyllis.
back a little bit. Put it up.
Sit back and put it up.
Say it with your chest.
There you go. There you go.
He's an author of the book called Breathe. What's the title, Phyllis?
It is called Breathe, a guided healing journal for Black men.
Yes. So, Phil is all about mental health and, checking in. We all about checking in and keeping up and being our brother's keeper. And he has a wonderful book, and he's going to talk about the book, talk about just being an author all in general. Listen, I want to introduce to some and present to others Mr. Brennan Allen Steele. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Listen, I want to apologize, first of all.
Yeah.
On behalf of my unprofessional co-host.
Man, you better put yourself up in there, young man. What are you talking about?
No, sir. No.
You joined in on the ignorance too. Don't do that.
I want to apologize because Phil is still hungover from his birthday from last week.
Mike, come on, man. Relax.
Although
Mike.
Phil is saying it's Dr.
already.
Pepper, I know what's really in that cup. I'm just saying.
This is so unprofessional right now.
First of all, you don't even drink Dr. Pepper. I knew that was a lie right off the bat. I'm like, Dr. Pepper? What? Are we lying now? Look, that's why she's laughing, because she know I'm telling the truth.
I would try to be professional today. Look, I'll try to be professional today and not have my red cup. I mean,
well, first of all, I don't have administrative functions like you do. So when he wasn't on here, I'm thinking he ain't here. I would have been here myself.
Yes, he heard everything. That's all I'm saying.
I'm so sorry.
We apologize, my brother. We apologize.
Yeah, we heard everything. Big Sean, what's up, man?
Professional, I promise.
Sean, what's good, bro?
It's not often, but it does happen on the show from time to time.
I'm so sorry.
On the show. But man, listen, I appreciate you, man. Welcome back. Thank you for coming again. And man, how's it been going, bro?
Man, it's been, I guess it's been almost a year since I was on here. And
yeah, it's been almost a year.
Last time I just had a baby, so now she's almost a year old. So life is always interesting. But it's been good. It's been good, man.
That's what's up, man. You think it's interesting now? Wait till she turned into a teenager.
Yep.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Oh Lord.
Not ready.
Enjoy it now, my brother. Enjoy it
Listen,
now.
start sending up your prayers right now.
Yeah.
Start
Yeah.
sending them up right now, man. Because it's
You
gonna
said
be. It's
you
gonna.
said she's one.
Yeah,
She'll
she's
be
one
one in
now.
Yeah.
March 8th, so almost a month from now.
He got about 10 or 11 more good years.
Yeah, he got about 10. He got about.
Yeah,
Look, you
got
got
10 or
about
11 more
7
good
until
years.
she started realizing that she might not like you. I'm just saying, it's gonna
Oh
be. It's,
yeah.
woo, it's
Man.
something. Them girls are something
Don't
else. No
scare
offense,
'em.
fellas.
I wasn't like that. I wasn't. I wasn't.
Silence.
I'm like, I wasn't.
We're not gonna get into that.
I mean,
But no, we're not trying to scare you. We're actually trying to encourage you. I have 2 kids myself, and I'm gonna tell you, even through all of their foolishness and all the stuff, man. Listen, it's a journey I wouldn't take back for nothing, man.
We'll regret none of it. We'll
I don't-
regret not one
Yeah,
day.
man, I love my kids, man. I love them.
Mm-mm.
You know,
No.
they test you, and you know, as they
That's
should.
your legacy. That's your
Yeah,
legacy.
yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
man. That's what's up. So look, man. As I always do, every time we have a guest, for the benefit of those that may not know you or may not have seen the previous episode that you was on, I want to give you the floor so you can just tell them a little bit about who Brennan is, give a brief introduction of yourself, and just tell them a little bit about you. So, floor is yours, my brother.
Yeah, so obviously I'm a father. I'm also a husband. I've been married almost 3 years. And uh, that kind of that's really important in my story because that kind of catalyzed a lot of my own mental health journey. And so um, meeting meeting my wife and then trying to start a family, I realized I got a lot of stuff I got to handle, and so
Mm.
I started my own mental health journey a little bit before we actually got together, but really got serious about it once we got a little bit more serious, and so yeah, that led me to really developing not only a passion for mental health for myself, but also like seeing all my brothers around me, particularly Black men, struggling with their mental health, and just kind of seeing how we are so like socialized to not deal with our mental health. And so then big piece of me becoming an author is COVID hit along with the murders of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. And I just saw all the brothers around me really struggling. And so developed this resource through Breathe. And from there, my whole time I was an educator. And then through COVID, through writing this journal, I decided to become a therapist. And so I'm my last year in school and actually started internships. So I'm actually seeing clients now. So done and I'll be full time by the end of this year. And so yeah, those are the main pieces of that. I always say that I'm a believer. And that's because I forms a lot of my views, but also I think it's important to put that in this space because a lot of people think that faith and mental health are separate, and I think they actually
Mm.
work together. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about me for us to begin.
Okay, excellent. So look, man. I know you mentioned George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. What were some of your other inspirations for you to write this particular book?
Yeah, I think um, I was looking for space for myself to be able to express and understand my identity, my emotions, and my experience as a Black man. And I was looking for things on the market, and a lot of them were made for dominant culture. And so, white men, to be
Yeah.
very explicit.
Look,
And
it's all right.
so,
We can say it on here. It was made for the white man.
a lot of stuff was made for white men. I was reading it, and it was talking about skiing and hunting, and I was just like, this is just I don't have this experience, and so I can't really tap in with this. And so honestly, it was like, well, somebody needs to make. At that point, there wasn't a lot of things on the market. I think we forget, like, before COVID, like, mental health was starting to pick up, but not really. Like, I
Mm,
think even like where we are, I live in Memphis, and we're like the city of Memphis is like 70%, 60, 70% Black. When I started therapy in 2019, I could find less than 5 Black male therapists in a city like Memphis. And so I think about like how much mental health has become so much more important. So recently, when I was looking at trying to find a journal for myself, most of them were for white men. I didn't find a lot that were updated and new that were for Black men in this context. And so,
mm.
yeah, I think I wrote it to elevate the voices and create space for the men that look like me.
That's what's up. I didn't realize until like I talked to you and the lack of books like yours
Mhm.
for brothers. And do you think it's because it's not a market for it, or do you think it's because when it comes to mental health, especially in regards to Black men, it was something that we just really didn't talk about, so there wasn't a need for it? Why do you think that there is such a lack of mental health or mental health awareness books out there for brothers that can relate to? Because just like you said, you looking for books and they talking about some, well, you want to go clear your mind, go hunting and killing ducks. And it's like, brother, I don't even like water like that, but you talking about going hunting. It's like,
Yeah.
so there was nothing really for us to connect to. Why do you think that is? It's like, is it just that it's, do people not see that as important, or is it just a lack of brothers like yourself that's putting that information out there?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like since I've written it, like you could like when I went on, you can go on Amazon and look up my book and see like at least 8 to 10 other books similar to it. And so I
Mm-hmm.
think that since I've written it, there's been a huge wave. But at that time, I think that um like I think like there was still like a stigma around mental health. There was still a stigma around men expressing feelings, and I think that Black men have a unique existence because not only are we men, but we're Black men. So yeah, like expressing emotions can be okay for some men of other races, but when we express our emotions, there is we're seen as threatening, we're seen as too much, we're seen as all these other things. And so like
Mm-hmm.
that and that on top of just like this narrative within our community that you just kind of push through. You just kind of deal with it. You got to do what you got to do. You fake it till you make it. All these things of like ignoring our emotions. I think COVID, as well as the murders that I spoke about, kind of started to break those down because we had to face ourselves during that time, not
Mm-hmm.
only as a nation, but I think within our community as well. And so I think you see more of those spaces being created and more of those um, like tools being created because it's just like we need something and we can't depend on other people to make it when they don't know our experience. So we have to make it for ourselves.
Mm. Now, y'all can jump in anytime if y'all have any questions. I'm not that I have to give y'all permission, but I'm just
Oh,
saying, because Phil be like, man, well, Mike, I ain't want to jump over you. Like, since when,
Mike, stop it.
I
So
just
just
raised my hand. They ignored me on this
this is,
thing.
I know we don't. Now you stop that. That's
Well, you know what? I think Phyllis would have more because she actually has the book, so she would have like better questions. But let me just say this: when it comes to us as Black men, I think a lot of us was raised where if you talked about your feelings too much, you're considered soft and all that
Yep.
stuff. And what people don't know is when you grow up in certain type of environments where there's a lot of killing and a lot of stuff going on, it messes with a lot of people mental. It's a lot of Black men that's walking around that's depressed, that's not telling nobody about it because they don't want to be looked at a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand
right.
what you're saying. And I used to stay in Whitehaven, Memphis, brother, back in
Oh, you should say
1997.
Whitehaven?
Yeah,
Okay.
back in 1997, Woodbranch Apartments.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
You was deep in the South, huh, Phil?
Oh yeah, man. Hey, it's right. Elvis Presley Drive was like a block up from where I stayed at.
Yeah, I heard it ain't too kind down there in Memphis, man.
If you go deep down into
Like
it, but
even yeah, I heard it's a little rough down in Memphis.
but Beale Street go hard though on a Friday night, and they clubs was BYOB back. I don't know how it is now, but back in '97, they clubs was BYOB, bring your own bottle.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that anymore.
Sounds like a place I want to be.
Oh, Jesus. No, it's
used
not.
To go down
it
the,
really
used to go
is
down
not.
the street and watch wrestling at what's the name of that place? The South Coliseum, Mid South Coliseum. Used to go down there and watch watch the wrestling down there and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey Eddie, what's going on, man?
What's going on, brother Eddie?
Yeah. Oh, look, Jennifer's here. Hey, Jennifer.
Okay, Miss Phyllis, you got. I know you got the question, so I turn the floor over to you.
I do. It's more so of like, see, I have my sticky notes because I read the book. I read it.
It's on Amazon, right, bro?
And I have
ordered the book.
Sticky notes because I'm a scholar.
What? What is that what we doing now? Because I didn't graduate college. You throwing that up in my face? Is that what we doing?
Every time we going straight, we always end up making it.
This is why.
Sorry. But I'm about to get to it, Brennan. I promise you.
Hold on. No. This is why we need books like this. I see your hand, and yeah, this is why we need books like this, because this is the type of trauma that brothers come across. It's bad enough we get PTSD. No, I'm serious. It's bad enough we got PTSD from the hood. I mean, it's like and people but like for real though, people don't think that stuff is real. It's like that, like
it's real
stress syndrome. People get that just from living in the hood, like for real.
Mm-hmm.
I know dudes is going through some things just because of where they live. You know,
well, you could have did some things yourself when coming up. If you was on that side of the streets, if you was out there, you could have a lot of stuff that you done been carrying and just been messing with your mental. That's why you think I be joking when I ask you, hey man, how your mental doing? You know, cause I know, trust me, I know you can.
Oh, he know.
You can walk around and be depressed and don't tell a soul. Just keep it to yourself. And everybody think you're the happiest person in the world, but they don't know you at home and just going through it by yourself.
Yeah.
But the thing about go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I think about that is Phil, even that like I always tell my clients and even men I talk to that even if we're not processing it comes out in some way.
Yeah.
And so we think about like whether or not like we got health issues, like think about all the health issues in the Black community, think about suicide rates, like think about numbing, like however, like alcohol, whatever it is, like it comes out. It comes out. And so like that's why I push us to process, because it doesn't just disappear. And so you can put on this face and just a lot of it. And I have some clients that just like, I just work all the time. But you're working yourself to death, literally, because you're trying to ignore the trauma that you experience.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that people, or not people, but do you think that men shy away from therapy because they don't want to appear as being weak? Because one thing that men especially pride themselves on is being able to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's our thing. I got it. I can handle it. And truth be told, man, it's like, you know, this is just me personally. You know, we go through just like everybody else do. You know, I mean, I know for me, there's been times where, you know, man, I just was sitting in the room and something just hit me. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even know what triggers it. But it's just something, and it's like, but then you know what you do? You get your composure, and you know, you pull your pants up and you keep pushing, and you really don't talk about it. Why do you think it's like why do you think it's such a difficulty for men to just say this is how I'm feeling? Because I'm gonna give you my theory. I think a lot of times we don't talk about our feelings because, unlike women, and this is no shot at y'all, but women, when you all talk about your feelings, most of the time your feelings are validated, whether it's from your spouse, your friends, family, whatever. And it's your feelings are generally validated. But it seems like when a man has issues or when he's going through and when he expresses how he feels, for some reason it's always flipped, and they tell you you shouldn't feel that way, or you're probably feeling that way because of this, or they give you a reason as to why you should feel that
Yeah.
way. And it's sometimes it's like, I don't need you to give me a reason, I just need you to validate the fact that I'm having these feelings. Why do you think what's the reason that you believe, or why do you think men look at therapy or just even talking about their feelings as such a nah, I'm good type of thing?
Yeah, I have a few thoughts. I think one, I would argue that Black people, both Black men and women, have this socialized idea that we're superhuman.
Mm,
And like I think there's like the idea of like, yeah, like black girl magic, all that stuff, and that's like a positive way. But in a negative way, I even think back to like this idea that like our ancestors were like beat like within an inch of death, and then expected to be able to get back in the field the next day.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
And so, like, when you think about that as like our lineage, like, even when we have emotions or we experience traumas of today, like, there's an expectation that we're supposed to be able to just move
Yep.
past it, move through it, and go back to life as normal. And so I think that I see that in like men, but I use women as well when you think about like the strong Black woman, got to be strong no matter what happens to her. And I don't know that there's context when you think about setting like both Black feelings aren't legitimized because of that. Um, in terms of like I've had some people just like I don't want everybody in my business. I think that's also
Yeah,
a
yeah,
narrative in our community. I think there's just so much. I think it's like there's this idea about like men expressing themselves, but I think therapy is a safe space. Like I am not allowed to tell anybody anything about anything, any tell me, as long as it doesn't have to deal with any abuse or like harm to themselves or other people. But if you're
right.
telling me I feel hurt, I feel depressed, I feel anxious, all stuff, I can't. And so I think that like part of it is also a healthcare system in general, because again, to the history of healthcare and mental health, Black people have been mistreated and have been mishandled in the system.
Mm,
Like where we are now is just as much like the ways in which our community and has had to survive society
Mm.
as like how like institutionalized the problems are with the system. So
wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phyllis.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Brennan, for that. First of all, the book is called Breathe, a guided healing journal for Black men. And Michael, can you no put your hand down? You had your time. Reclaiming my time. I'm Maxine Waters right now. Reclaiming my time. Okay. But the main reason why I bought this book is because number one, I'm trying to understand my son a little better.
mhm.
And then I just want to be a better partner for my future husband, whoever that may be. And I just wanted to know like what struggles they had. I mean, I'm familiar with the struggles that Black men have, but not up close, not up front, and I wanted to know exactly what way, if there was any language in the book that I could use to kind of communicate more to my son to understand some of his behaviors and things of that nature. But it turns out I started flipping this for myself. And I was like, huh. So first of all, I want to just say I love the way that you have it, the format of the book. It's a 3-part journey. And the first part is like for 30 days. The second part is 14 days of like self guided journaling. And then the third part is about claiming and rewriting their story away from what the way that other people are pretty much trying to tell another person's story or be the narrator of somebody's life. Now I'm moving on. So on day one, so the way that you have it set up, you have like words, you have terms that will like describe their emotions. And then for the exhale part, you have them to list the 3 reasons why they're feeling that way, right? Now, what I love about this part is when I started writing, I took a deeper look into it. Like, is this something that I created? Is this a feeling that I initiated? Or is it something that somebody else had spoken to my spirit as to why I'm feeling like this? And that gave me the opportunity to eliminate, okay, this person really isn't important. So scratch that. I shouldn't be feeling this way. I really do love that. The release point where you focus on the curated definition, like for the first day, it's narrative, where you're basically instructing the journalist to like be the narrator of their own story to start their story. I really do love all of this. I love the structure of the book, and you
Thank
all
you.
need to get it. Okay. I have some questions written down for the
Wait, you mean you didn't
third.
ask your question yet?
No. I'm just to give the audience an
Let her cook. Let
opportunity to
her cook,
understand
Brunlaw. Let
the
her cook.
format of the book.
Jesus. I
Okay,
She's
mean,
it's a
cooking
journal.
right now, though, Brunlaw. Let her
It's a
cook.
journal.
what
It's a
time is
journal.
it?
I really do love that. So when Michael doesn't have attention, I'm just letting you know this is what he does. This is what he does. It's what he does.
My
It's like
goodness.
it's my show. It says Mike and Phil, not the
Now that's a
Phyllis
lie.
show.
I ain't never
Okay.
said that.
I get
You a
it.
lie and a
Okay.
half. You's a
It's
lie and a
okay.
half, and the truth ain't in you. Hey, Brennan, real quick. Why do you think guys don't journal? Like, you know how girls have diaries and things like that. Like, why do you think dudes don't do
What?
that?
That
Like,
was
I
one of
don't.
my questions that he and I were talking about, and I just want to
Yeah.
let you know that he took that question from me.
Oh
But
my
that's okay.
god. But it's a valid question. Like,
Mhm.
guys don't. Do you have a journal, Phil?
No, I ain't got no journal, man.
Exactly. You see how you answered that? Nah, I ain't got no journal. I mean,
Mike,
you
I ain't
even.
say it like that, though,
Yes,
bro.
you
That's
did.
what
You
you're
did
not
it
It's
for
gonna do.
me.
because they affiliated with what they see. Because all on TV is Dear
Yeah.
Diary.
Right.
I know I
Yeah.
had plenty of them.
Exactly.
I had
So
plenty of them.
my
Look,
But
sister
what
he'll,
they
said,
fail
my
to
sister said
realize is
diaries. Man. I
journaling
knew
is
about
therapeutic.
diaries.
What?
yeah, but why do you think guys don't do? Like, Phil didn't even move his lips. He said, "No, I ain't got no journal."
No,
So
I
it's
mean,
like,
but guys, let's just be honest. If you all get a text message that's longer than 4 sentences, y'all be
we
like,
ain't
oh
reading
my
it.
Oh
We're
no,
like,
I
oh
ain't
my
Y'all
reading
don't
that.
even pay
I ain't
attention
reading
to
that.
it.
No.
You don't even pay attention to it.
I'm do
So
that
if
first
you're not
line.
paying
I'm done.
attention to
That's
what
it.
somebody
like,
else is saying, you
man,
ain't
if
gonna
you
even
can't
have
tell,
enough patience to
Man,
write your own thoughts
don't
down.
you
text
better
me no
break.
book.
You
Don't
I
better
ain't
text me
got
break
time.
that up in
don't
about
text me no
5 texts.
thesis
I'm
or
just
no
saying.
essay. Don't text me none
And
of that.
y'all be missing out on vital information
Keep trying to tell you, I went
Break,
to college for like 3
with
weeks.
your
Don't text me
illiterate
that.
break,
selves.
break the text up. Why does it have to be the whole screen? I'm like, no.
Why? Listen, because y'all don't listen. So
They
maybe
give
you
that long
think that you will
paragraph
sit
just to
around and
ask you, do you got something? No,
With
just get to the point,
look,
man.
with no punctuation, and you be like, oh my
No.
god, what is
no, I
really?
use punctuation. I use punctuation, capitalization, all of that stuff. I
I
switch
But you
it
know
up
swear.
what?
in sentences.
That is a good question.
But why
That
guys
is
don't
you
journal?
know
Why?
what?
I mean,
Yeah.
Eddie said he journals.
I do want
But
to know the answer to that. I do
yeah,
want to
but
know
why
because
why why
I
do you think
never
guys
was
don't
never
journal?
no, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Phyllis was saying is accurate. I think there is like a like the way that like television and media present it, um, make it seem like it's more feminine. But I also think some of it is like be able to journal, you have to be you have to be able to articulate the way that you are feeling and what you are thinking. And I think we just don't teach boys how to do that. Because boys,
Mm,
that's not our
Okay,
focus
yeah.
with boys. And
that
so
makes sense.
I think I started journaling when I realized that, like, it was like I said, it was starting to come out and it was coming out in unhealthy ways. And so I was like, I got to put this somewhere. Like, I can't just have it in my head or not think about it or try to push it back, because I have so much stuff that has happened now that I don't have any more space to stuff it. And so I just started writing stuff down and not even really processing it. It could have been a sentence or two. And I just typed it in my phone. I saw there's apps on your phone. Like, I wasn't always a physical writer at first. I just typed it in my phone real quick, get it out. I don't have to think about it right. And
So
back
is this
to it.
something that you go back? Do you go back and revisit it, or you know
Yeah.
what I'm
So
saying?
like,
Like, or you just write it just to say, okay, I've talked about it. It's now I can move on.
yeah, I think it's a process. I think it's an evolution. So I think initially, sometimes it's just like I got to be able to write this so I can articulate it. Like,
Hmm.
articulation sometimes is the first step, because, like I said, we don't do that. Like, you feel away and then you ignore it, or something makes you feel
Mhm.
away and you don't even know what word to say. You can't even say,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel hurt. Like, and so, like, being able to do that is sometimes the first step, which was what I was trying to do even in the journal. Is like, I thought about the journal as like a gradual release. Like, I'm an
Hmm.
educator, so we do that all the time in education. But like, initially, it's just like, hey, tell me 10 things that happened in your life that are important to you. That's not asking you to
Mm,
talk about how you're feeling. That's not asking you to do anything deep. It's just asking me to tell me about your life. And so it's just like, and then over time, you hit about day 13, day 14 is getting a little deeper, but you've been doing the practice of writing, of doing processing in a way so where by the time you get to day 30, you have we can identify how I feel and that impact on me. And
Right.
so I think it's a process that you have to teach men, because like boys, we don't, and so we grow up into men that don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for real quick. So at piggybacking on that, as a father who or just as a man and as a father, how would I teach? How do I even go by teaching my boys how to articulate what they feel? Because what if I don't even know how to do it? Like, how
Yeah.
how can I help them so they don't end up like me and be like, well, Dad, you never talk about your feelings. I know, but you need to. It's like that don't work anymore.
Yeah.
So how like what just give me an idea of what it is that I can do not only for myself, but then something that also I can also relate to them in regards to saying, listen, um, this is how if you feel in a certain way, let's be like how can I encourage them to articulate or encourage them to talk about
Yeah, I think, well, one, you can go through my journal with them and do them together. But
it? Okay.
two, I think, um, like, thinking about different situations that happen. So, like, say your son is game or something and they lose, like, you invested too, and you're feeling way they lost. Like, after the game, like, talking about like giving space to, like, how do you feel right now? And they
Mm-hmm.
could be like as simple as like, I just feel sad, I feel angry, I feel upset, frustrated, whatever it is. And you're like, I get that. I feel that way too. Or you can start out and say, I'm like really proud of you for doing everything that you could do, but I am kind of sad that y'all lost. Like, I think it's stuff like that that's really simple, instead of like, I think typically a response to somebody losing the game, and then a son, like, they can see, like, I've seen dads who see their sons upset. They're like, suck it up, keep
Yeah.
your head up,
Cry in the
go shake
car.
their hand. Like,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
like, and I'm not necessarily even knocking that, but like, can they actually
Right.
cry in the car? Like, because then it gets in the
No.
car,
Mm,
it's like, why are you
No.
crying? Like, you got to get better. Like, you just get better the next time. Like, it's not any space to allow that, because I think, like, I think, like, a lot of the ways in which we interact with our boys, like in a lot of ways that we are preparing them to
How to
live
deal
in
with
a
the world
society,
almost.
live in a world that's not made for us and doesn't care about us.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that we have to stop doing all those things. I just think we can do both and so we can give them the space. We can show them like, hey, in the world, this is how you're gonna have to operate. But with me, you always have space to be. You always have the
Right.
space to feel. You always have the space to do everything you need to do to then be able to go back out into that world and put
Yeah.
on what you need to do to be able to survive there. So I think
I
it's
think
just go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. I think that's a good
Oh no,
way.
that's it. Yeah.
Oh, I now that you're saying it, that almost sounds like a way that you can validate. Like I was talking about earlier, that's a way of validating their feelings. Like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why you said listen. And my boys, like my oldest used to play basketball, and you know, when he was in grade school, and they would get him, and he would get emotional when they would lose because he was like, man, I'm out there trying my hardest, and these dudes ain't playing, and he would be really frustrated. And I would tell him, listen, don't you cry in front of this other team. I said, don't do that. But you know, when he got in the car, he would be really frustrated. I'm like, look, dude, it's cool, man. Look, you did all right. You know what I'm saying? We get him next time. You'll get him next time, right? You know, so I never made him feel like you shouldn't cry, you shouldn't be upset. But
Yeah.
I would say not here. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it here. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I wouldn't want these other boys to see him crying because now they got something to tease you with or to talk about. No, don't even give them the satisfaction. If you're gonna cry, let's do it in the car. I get why you upset. We can talk about it later. You know, but but the talking about it later though, I think is the important part because that is giving him that space to feel the way that he feels, and you know, so man, now that I look back on stuff, I'll be like, man, did I handle that? Did I handle that? You know, like certain scenarios I'm thinking about now, and it's like, yeah, I probably could have did that different. That sucks. I'm sorry.
No, it's about you and Brendan tonight. So go ahead, keep going.
It's not. It was I mean, it was just a question that came up. I was just thinking about some stuff, and so. You know.
How old is your son?
Well, now Michael is now 22 and Gabriel is 20.
Okay. So
You know.
and how old are you?
I'll be 49 in April.
It's never too late. So
Yeah.
my dad and I'm about I'm hitting 30 soon. And then
Oh my God, I'm hitting 30 soon. Oh my, you're getting us so old now. Jeez.
He said that like
he said that like, man.
Don't say it like that, Brent. Don't you
like,
I'm
getting on 50.
I got
like,
more gray hair.
What I would do to
beard.
be 30 again.
I know. Oh my God.
He's
but Mike,
almost 30.
But you know what? Seriously, Mike.
He's like,
Phyllis,
it's about to be 30. Is it gonna hurt? Like, no, it's not.
Look, you wait till you get my age and you yawn the wrong way. You be like, oh Jesus,
man.
what's wrong?
No.
My point is my dad and I are like, my dad is almost, I think he'll be 60 soon. And so, but we started, we didn't have the best relationship growing up. And we started like healing our relationship when I was around 20, 21, 22. And so I think like, and a lot of it was just like the basic stuff of like me being able to come to him about things that I'm feeling. And now that I'm a father too, like I understand a lot more some of the decisions he made growing up. Yeah. And so like, I just call him like, man, like I just feel so overwhelmed by all of this. And he's like, yeah, that's a part of it. And like, I feel that too sometimes. And it's just kind of like, and that's like, even like as adults, like I think it's never too late for fathers and sons to heal that relationship or even just have a deeper relationship, even if it wasn't like unhealthy or not, even if it wasn't bad, like even making it better and deeper. And so that's my encouragement. It's not too late. Like I think you can still do that for them now.
I appreciate
it. But Mike, let me say this then. Phyllis, you finna get the floor, Phyllis. Let me make sure you get the floor now. But the way I came up, my father loved me, but my father didn't show me affection.
Yeah, he didn't like
You know what I'm saying? He was a type where, he did took care of me, did the world for me, but I didn't get that because he was one of those manly men. You don't cry, you suck it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be hugging and kissing on you, moo moo moo. And in the process, when I had my son, that's how I started off with him.
Mm-hmm.
I started off with that. You gotta be tough, you gotta be doo-doo. You know what I'm saying? Until he started getting into high school and started playing sports. And like Mike said, you lose a game and you see him look, but you got to put your head up. What you know what I'm saying? But what I didn't understand then was I probably was messing him up mentally.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't showing him no affection. I didn't start showing my son affection till he like a senior in high school. I got to start telling this boy I love. I said, maybe my mother and father, they did, you know what I'm saying? They was good parents, but I had what you call tough parents. They talk to you tough, they treat you tough. Because my mother and father say this world not nice. Everybody not gonna like you, and that's cool. I don't want you to get in the brain cell of living in a delusional world thinking that you're gonna be walking through honey melon dews every day.
Yeah.
They from the South, the Delta, Mississippi. My mother and father from Mississippi, Delta. So that's where they raised me. So I had to learn that the way I was raising my son was a little bit wrong. So I had to start showing them affection, let them know, because some kids will get to the point where they might not think you, because I was like that when I was younger. Like my parents don't love me. They don't hug on me. They don't, like my father say, I could kiss on you all day, but I gotta go to work. So that's the way I was. So I had to change my mental. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't never want a child to think that you don't love them just because this the way you was raised. So you thinking that this how parenting should be. So I had to change my mental. So that's all. Phyllis, it's yours.
I forgot what I was doing.
The question.
You got sticky notes. Stop it. You got sticky notes.
Well, Brennan, also, when you turn 40, everything gets smaller. So the print gets smaller.
Look, but you see what Tina said. She talking about some 49 is still fairly young too. It ain't 30. That's all I'm saying.
It ain't 30. That's a good age right there, man.
I was 30
again. All my years. Man. I'm claiming all my years. But just to kind of piggyback off of what you all said, I feel like the majority of the time we are the reason why Black people are a little bit touched mentally because of the expectations that we put on each other and how we raise our children. And it's like I have a friend that makes fun of the fact that I call my youngest son Buddy. And I was like, what you want me to call him? My little nigga? My little co-defendant? Like what do you want me to call him? Because I'm not gonna no, seriously. They poke fun at you because they're considering that me being white or I'm being soft.
But I used to call Michael and Gabriel Buddy.
I'm just saying, I'm saying I have a friend that thinks it's funny or think that I'm raising my kid like he's white because I call him Buddy. I call him Tugga. I call him Solo. I call him Noah. I call him Michael. I just be like, come here, boy. I don't know. Sometimes when you get older, you forget your kids' names if you have more than one. That's coming. Just letting you know.
I just say one. Come here, eldest, and he knows.
No, but it's like
one of y'all is older than the other.
It's kind of like what Phil was saying. It's like I never taught my boys. I never told them stop crying because I let them cry so they can feel that emotion, and I let them know that it's okay to cry. Because when I'm able to show my children empathy and compassion, they're going to be able to show their children and their partners empathy and compassion. And we speak against it because of how we were raised. Yeah. I mean, I don't raise my boys the way that I was raised. I don't. It's just, at first, I will say, I was overcompensating because there was no man in the house. But then when I realized I can only do what I can as a mother, I just I was just like, that's what I'm gonna do. And
Yep.
if nurturing them, supporting them, and calling them by soft names is what I'm supposed to do, then I'm gonna do
Mhm.
it. And
Yeah.
the reason why we have so many people walking around here with mental health issues is because it started with the parents and how they
Yep.
were raised.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
So,
Mhm.
that's why I'm crazy. I
Telling
I
blame
you,
my
believe
man.
mama.
so too. I believe so too.
I
Hey,
definitely blame my
man.
mama.
Man, my old man, look, my old man said, "Oh, you got to be tough," and I took that and ran with it. And got to be tough took me. I was a terrible child growing up, just off of that got to be tough crap. Now I had to
Mhm.
really I had to really change my theories, because I had a son, and I was hard on him. I'm talking about real hard on him, and he picked up some of the things that like me. So I had to change that up, bro. I love you. Come on, give me, like you said, he's 30 years old right now, and I still get that dude a kiss on his forehead. He hate it. I love you. Come here. Mwah. He be
Mhm.
dead. Don't do
You
that,
got
Pop. Man,
you
listen,
got
dude.
to, man. You
Listen,
got to. You got to,
listen.
man. Look, Gabriel is about my size. Gabriel right now, I think Gabe is like 6 feet. And he's probably about my size, man. And I remember, and I think I talked about this once before. It was one of them times where I just had one of them episodes, man. And I just started crying. And he came into the room. He said, "Dad, are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And he hugged me, this big old burly. And I'm like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with you hugging me like this. And we laughed it out. But the thing is, though, when he was younger, he was a hugger. Every five, I ain't gonna say every 5 minutes, that's an exaggeration, but at least 3 to 4 times a day. Dad, can I get a hug? Dad, can I get a hug? And I would hug him. I remember we were at a store one time, and I don't know, he asked for something, and I bought him and his brother something while we was at the store, and he said, "Thank you, Daddy," and he hugged me, and I hugged him back. And the lady at the cashier was like, "Oh, you hug your son in public?" And I thought that was the weirdest thing for her to ask. Now she was white. I don't know if that's why she asked that question, but she was really like, you
Mhm.
hug, like surprised that I hugged him while we were out in public, man. And it's just something I'm like, Phil, my dad was never that type of dude. And so I
No,
I always wanted to make sure that I always wanted to make sure that, I showed them that, and then they mom, of course, she imparted the nurturing part in them because, I don't know, sometimes I don't think we do that well as men, but that balance had to be there. Like I had to me, in my head, I had to show them that it's okay to hug, it's okay to say I love you, it's okay to,
it's like you had to
you know,
teach yourself, Mike, to do that
yeah,
as a
I
father.
Yeah.
had to teach
It's like
myself
that,
to do it,
yes. It's like you have to
and
Yeah.
teach yourself
that's
that.
crazy. And I think about that now, and it's because, kind of like Phil, my dad just wasn't that type of cat. I knew he loved me,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, but it was just like, oh, dude,
But if you look
I
for the
ain't
hugs and him telling and him actually saying he love you,
yeah,
no, that wasn't going on.
nah, that wasn't happening. That wasn't happening at all. So I just always try to make sure that I did that as a kid. I saw Eddie put something out there. He said black folks also have a traumatic habit of placing their familiar traumas on their own family and sometimes other folks in the family. Are we the only people that do that? Because like I would hear people say stuff like, well, shoot, I left home at 18, so he gotta go when he 18. Or I struggled when I was coming up, so my kids don't have to struggle, so they can learn how to struggle when they come up. Like I don't hear any other demographic of people saying things like that. Are we the only people that do that?
I don't believe we're the only people that do that. I think it's specific for each culture and each race
Mm-hmm.
what it looks like, but there's like generational trauma in every culture. Like I think about the ways like clients that I have that are still like kind of recovering from the expectations like white clients that white mom and dad put on them, that their grandparents put on them. So I think it looks different because I think our cultural experiences are different, but I think
Mm.
generational trauma is is universal, because like all families, like when you think about systems, they're all like imperfect systems with across family dynamics.
Yeah. See, now I'm
And
thinking.
I think another point that I wanted to add was just like, I think that's something that I mean, as soon as we found out we were pregnant, I started thinking about this a lot more. It's just like the idea of legacy that I will leave. And I think that a lot of times men, we think about legacy from like a financial perspective. Like, I want to leave a bunch of money, a bunch of property, or whatever,
Yep. Yep.
so that my family's taken care of. And I think that that is good. I think that is appropriate or whatever. But I think also we forget about what is the emotional legacy that we're leaving. What is the like, do our kids know how to have healthy relationships from what they saw from us? Like, do they know how to uh, process their emotions and have space to kind of operate the world from a place that's not just like survival, but also thriving because of the work that we did and the work that they saw us do with them. And so I think that I like, I've been trying to be very intentional about, even in these stages with my daughter, like the way that I'm present with her, and like when she's crying and how I'm attentive to her, and so I can like practice now, so when she can talk back to me, I can actually start to put in those deposits, so that my legacy is not, I hope I'm able to leave her a bunch of money or whatever, but also like I want her to see, like, remember that me and her mom had a good relationship, and so
Yeah.
she saw our healthy dynamic. And our healthy dynamic is because we both dealt with our emotions and were able to communicate effectively with each other. And so then she can try to find something like that when she's looking for a partner. Think I think about legacy a lot, and because like a lot of this is like the legacy that our parents and grandparents left, whether it was conscious or not. It's just the way that we saw what we saw and what we kind of took in. So yeah.
Mhm. Interesting. Phil, I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's just that as you've been talking, it's like I've been like stuff been popping up, and so I'm articulating it while it's in my head, because I know if I don't, I'm going to forget it, and I'm like, let me get it. Let me ask him real quick. But you're on mute, Phyllis. Why are you on mute?
Because Solomon came in asking for a snack. Did y'all not see my mouth moving? Like, and I was like, yes, well,
I did, but I'm like, is she talking? I'm like, what is she doing? See, this is what happens when you do live stuff.
This is what happens when you have an 11-year-old.
Oh no, it don't stop at 11. You know how many times I've been doing a live and Michael have walked right in his room.
Oh yeah, nephew walk right past like ain't nothing.
He'll walk right past like, hey, what up? I'm like, dude, I'm live. Oh,
I get to the point, I'm like, what up, nephews? I hope he hear me.
He'd be like, my bad, and then just casually walk away, and I'm like, the disrespect is unbelievable. Like, I didn't do a good job.
Yeah, so I was on mute because my child was trying to convince me it's Friday and it's our cheat day. I was like, yes, Solomon, you need to go get a snack. Don't overdo it. Like, eat in moderation. I'm like, come here. Wow. Okay, but I do have a couple of questions for you. For day 6, you're focusing on the release point is fear, and you define fear as an emotion caused by potential pain, harm, or threat, to be scared or afraid, a feeling of anxiety at the anticipated outcome. And I wanted to ask you, based off like all of the encounters that you've had with Black men, what is the main thing that they define as, well, what's their main fear?
Failed relationships, probably.
That's a good question. I think a major fear that I hear often is being misunderstood. Whether that is in a relationship, whether that is in an encounter with law enforcement, whether that is in a professional setting, I often hear that there's a feel of being misunderstood by those parties. So
I second that motion.
So with that being said, why are most, well, I won't say most men. I've encountered a lot of men that are poor communicators. And it's like, how can we help you if you, like how you said earlier, they're not able to articulate what they're feeling and put it in writing? How can we help you? How can we understand you if you have issues communicating?
Yeah. I think so. The therapist in me says they need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
I don't know that is a responsibility of the other partner in the relationship, is to be able to get them to get to that point. But I think that for those that are, I think in that process though, there still has to be a level of grace and patience, because it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be, it's going to, like, and I think I have experienced men who have started the process, are going to therapy, or even trying to start to understand themselves in whatever way that is best for them. And then their partner is frustrated because it still doesn't make sense, or is frustrated because they're not able to communicate to the level that they are. And so I think that like for me, I am just now at the place where I can have an argument with my wife and know exactly how I feel and come back and say all the things that I need to say. And that's the work that I started before we even got together. And there's still moments where I'm like, I just need a beat because you're going too fast.
Okay.
I just don't. I need a second to find my thoughts, and then I can come back. And I think one thing that she really well is just kind of be patient, because before I was never even thinking about my feelings, and let alone articulating them. And so, like, I think a lot of that is just, if you have somebody who's trying to do the work, like knowing that it's not going to happen and just giving them space, and then not being defensive when it actually gets articulated in a way you don't like. And so I think that those are some things that me and my wife have even had to work through as I've become more emotionally intelligent.
Is that part of the reason why some men can't communicate, because they lack emotional intelligence?
I believe so.
Okay. Thank you. You helping me, brother. You are. Okay. So hold
on. I need emotional.
I'm getting this out because I need
emotional intelligence defined. What does that mean?
Not being
a man is not emotionally intelligent.
To be emotionally intelligent means that you're able to control your feelings, and you're able to articulate what you feel. Be emotionally intelligent to me means that you can recognize when I'm being irrational and get me in check. That's what I feel emotional intelligence is, and I think it is highly attractive. All those single men out there.
I think
if you have emotional intelligence.
I saw that.
I was fixing my earring.
Yeah,
you saw
that.
Did you see it?
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
I think, Mike, when they say that we're not emotional intelligent, it's like, like you said, when we say we get into argument with our wife or our girlfriend, anybody, we're gonna flip off the handle. We're gonna be, we can't control our anger. You can't control because that's the way it's coming out right now. You can't control it. I can't control
but
that.
That's emotional intelligence. Right, you know how to control your emotions.
And if you know how to control it, that's what emotional intelligence comes from. Now, Brennan could tell us exactly what it is, but that's what I took.
Sorry, Brennan.
No, I mean, I agree with everything that has been said. I think there's also, I would add, like, being able to articulate your emotion, and then being able to articulate the need that comes with that emotion. And so, like, I think you get to another level when you're like, I feel like hurt in this situation because whatever happened, And so this means like I need this to happen in the future, or I need to hear how you feel, or I need to hear that's not, I need to hear affirmation from you because of that, or like whatever it is. Like I think that's like the ultimate level of emotional intelligence. But I think initially it's like, yeah, being able to articulate, being able to regulate, and knowing that Black men, we feel anger a lot,
Yep.
but anger is often a secondary emotion.
Yes.
So anger is the thing that we know how to express, but there's something almost always underneath anger, whether it's sadness, whether it's hurt, whether it's feeling embarrassed, whatever it is. Like
Mhm.
if you can just say that you feel angry, yeah, a lot of us feel angry, but like why do you feel angry? What causes the anger is always something deeper than that. And so being able to get to those deeper levels and express not only feelings but needs, I think is emotional intelligence.
I don't think
I gotta get this brother book, baby. Look on Amazon.
I agree. Can you shop after the show, Phil? Jesus.
Oh, I forgot. I
Phil
forgot.
over there.
Wait a minute.
You didn't hear
Wait a
it.
minute.
You didn't hear it, but Phil shoved the skin in his mouth. He put a crackling
He
or a
over
wavy
eating
chip in his
everything.
mouth
What is
when he
going
leaned
on
over. I'm
tonight?
hip to it.
Listen,
I want
I
to order
agree.
this book.
I agree with everything that's being said. I guess my only question is that, you know, if men, like, I don't think men are. I just don't like the term emotionally intelligent or unintelligent or whatever, because it almost makes it seem like, like the guy is stupid, like he don't know what he's saying. And a lot of times men know what they're saying, but oftentimes I believe that it's received wrong by women, because you all have your own perception of how he should be feeling at that particular time. And a lot of times men don't voice what they feel because women are emotionally intelligent. They tend to flip the stuff that he say and make him feel like what he's saying isn't right or it's not correct. So how learning how to control your emotions is one thing, but I don't think saying a man is emotionally intelligent or not emotionally as intelligent is a fair assumption, because he is saying what he's feeling. He is frustrated. He is angry. He is mad, or whatever the case may be. And sometimes women, y'all be like, yeah, but you mad. Why are you mad because of this? You should be mad, or whatever the case may be. Y'all have word acrobatics and be tripping brothers up sometimes. And then you get mad because he walking away because he doesn't know how to say what you want him to say.
That's not true for all. That's not true for all women.
I didn't say all women, just like you didn't say all men.
Right. But my thing is like, there's a difference when you have an argument and you can't, the man can't initiate an actual conversation of substance,
because
but you can initiate.
Men don't keep receipts like that. That women do that.
It's not about keeping receipts or tallies. It's not about that. It's about when you need to focus on what it is that we're talking about. Don't bring in something else. It's like, no, let's talk about what we're talking about right now. Unless I need you to elaborate and give me an example, then why you beating around the bush? Why you pussyfooting around? I don't know what other words to say. I'm not like, my vocabulary isn't like yours, Brennan. I'm sorry.
Do you,
Yeah,
Phyllis?
you're
Go
good.
ahead. Come on.
You're
You're
It's
cooking
just-
right now. You cooking right now.
Because you old.
I am old. I will be 48 years old this year.
Yeah.
I claim all my years.
Claiming them all, man.
Claiming them all. But there is something that I struggle with grief sometimes. Well, I'm going to be transparent and vulnerable.
Well, you really
I suffer from depression. I suffer from depression and I suffer from anxiety. So I take amitriptyline and I take sertraline. I'm not ashamed to let people know that I have that I am dealing with my mental health issues. But one of the things that that really caught my attention was on day 12 for sadness, when you are focusing on mourning time. Mourning as in like morning, not the day. You said in the book how you respond to grief and sadness I need another prescription. how we respond to grief and sadness can also teach us a lot about ourselves. And I want to know, can you elaborate on that? Like, just
Yeah.
because of the way that we grieve, like, how does that define a person? Like, my, Michael and I, we're blood brother and sister, and when we lost our dad, we dealt with it differently. Michael, I'm just gonna say it right now. Michael has never properly grieved. I think my grieving was like in overdrive. When we first learned of our father's death, Michael kind of went about things as his normal routine. My mother was the type of person that needed people around. She needed to just talk about things openly. Me, on the other hand, it was like, be gone, disappear. You know, I had one friend that just was like, get over it. I'm here and I'm going to be here for you, just to be present. So what does it, how would you define me? How would you define Michael? How would you define my brother, my mom, as far as like the way that we grieve? Does that question make sense?
Yeah, that's a heavy question.
Oh,
It
sorry.
makes sense. It does make sense. Um, I think what I don't want to define each of you by one experience, and
Yeah.
so what I will say is that I think my intention of that statement is that you think about, so what you're talking about is a traumatic experience.
Mhm.
And so when you think about trauma, like we can all experience the same event and have different responses. So you just described three different responses to the same
Mhm.
event. And so I think uh, I think about like the black man that I was writing to in this book, like a lot, I was thinking about that, like not fully grieving it, not thinking about it. I know a lot of black men don't feel the space to grieve because they got to get back to work. They got to hold it down for everybody. They got to
Mhm.
be the one to keep it together. And so I think like the ways in which we respond to traumatic moments um, can sometimes illuminate those things within us. So like if I was a black man that was the one that thought like I had to keep everything together, like I would wonder, like, does that signify another other things that I believe about myself or that I believe I have the freedom to do and not do? Or if I have a level of I won't say emotional intelligence, but most like have a level of space, I'll just say that, to
Mhm.
really feel like I can dig deep into my emotions. Like, have I even given myself that? And so I think that like a lot of times when we are just moving throughout the day, when we're moving throughout the world, we're not always thinking about like how am I feeling this? How am I experiencing this? Am I allowing myself to feel? But grief, anything that makes us super sad or depressed, that stops us.
Mhm.
And then it helps us. It's kind of like a mirror of like, how am I actually existing in this world? Because it's not just this moment that I did this with. I do this with a lot of other things too. And
Mhm.
so I think I would wonder like if each of y'all reflected on like how does that experience that I had with my father passing overlay onto other experiences that I've had that might not have been traumatic, but are eliciting some emotion. Did I respond the same way? Did I ignore it? Did I go into overdrive? Did I do whatever? Like I think like that is what I was kind of trying to communicate in that section.
Oh, okay. So we can't say that an isolated incident can truly define us. It's
Right.
just
Right.
okay.
I think it just gives you more understanding of how you may respond to a broader amount of like how you see the world and how you respond to other things happening.
Okay. Got you.
But I, like you can learn to grieve, can't you?
Yeah.
Like, because I find myself now in places where, like this is gonna sound so goofy, but I was I'm a gamer, and There's this game that I play called Destiny 2. And there's a character in the game whose name is Zavala, and he was voiced by the actor Lance Riddick. Now, this game has been around I've been playing this game since its inception, which was probably about 11 years or so ago. It's just something that I've always played. His character has always been in the game. You go to him for missions and, whatever the case may be. He's always been a mainstay character in this game. He died last year. The voice actor died last year. And I found myself like really like I cried when this dude died. I didn't know him. I never met him, but to me his character was a mainstay in my life for like the last 10 years. And so when the voice actor died, I felt like I don't know. It's really weird, but I found myself being like overly emotional about it because I felt like I lost somebody. And it seemed like now when situations like that come up, when I do think about my dad, because I did not get that, I didn't get that chance, to really just kind of process it. It's like now there are times when I'm just sitting and I can think about things. I think about how, he never, I think about how he didn't get a chance to meet my boys. He didn't see me get married. He didn't attend any of their graduations or see them play football and all these other things. And I hate that. I hate it. And I just never got a chance to just kind of, get that. I guess I never got it out of my system. I don't know. But it's like things hit me now harder than they ever did. And I don't know if that's because I didn't get a chance to grieve for him now. Like my nephew came to visit and he went to go visit his grave. And he took a picture of his headstone. And I saw that picture and it just like it's like it just really hit me that like, and he's been gone now for over 20 years, but that headstone just really kind of, I don't know, man. It's hard. I'm emotionally unintelligent right now because I don't know how to articulate what I want to articulate, but it was a hard thing to see. And I just like now I just try to cope with it and deal with it because maybe I didn't think me personally I didn't think that I didn't grieve properly because I cried at his funeral and everything, but I do sometimes feel like that there's something that I didn't, and maybe it was the way that he died and because when he died it was like when I was coming up when I was a teenager, man, it was there was a lot of things we didn't see eye to eye on. And it wasn't probably until I got to a point where, I started working and I was doing my own thing. And, we kind of finally started, just kind of respecting each other for who we were, understanding that we had different worldviews and stuff like that. And it was just like that time where it felt like we were really kind of starting to understand each other and get on a really, really good page in terms of our relationship. It was like he was just gone. And I don't know. I don't think I ever recovered from that. And so it's just like now I'm like an emotional wreck. I watched The Lion King and I'm crying at The Lion King. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, man, I'm like something. I don't know if I still haven't processed it or if I'm over processing it now. Maybe now I'm kind of like where Phyllis was at one point in time, and it's just an over processing. I don't know, dude. Sometimes I just feel like I'm just emotionally just thinking about it. And you know what I do? I decompartmentalize it, and then I just push on. I know I'll probably have to pay you for this. I'm probably gonna have to.
I was about to say, send your invoice to Michael. I had to say, bye. I'm all right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you've been grieving for 20 years. This is like you should be.
25.
Yeah, 25, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pay
25. I have one more. Well, I have more than one question, but I know that we're gonna be running out of time. That's a good question. Okay, never mind.
Phil, if you don't stop getting going in your bag.
I'm putting it up, man.
I can hit the bag, Phil.
How can y'all hit a bag,
I'm sorry,
man?
Brennan. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Next time you come on, because we know that you're gonna make a second journal. It's gonna be called "Keep Breathing, Brother." I got it. Yeah.
No,
go ahead.
Are you still breathing?
Keep breathing, brother. No, but next time you come on, I'm going to be a lot more professional. I'm going to be polished.
Nah,
and I won't be talking about porn either. So for day 20, the release point word was assimilation, and you were talking about the Obama effect and code switching. And I wanted to ask you, do you think code switching is necessary in the home?
You on fire tonight, Phyllis.
If you got a code switch at home, something wrong. I'm just saying. If you code switching at home, that ain't home.
Well, I mean, you have to think about it, though. It's kind of like how Shannon Sharp was saying he can bring work home, but he can't take his wife to work. So why can't he switch off work mode when he comes into the home and just be husband or father?
So I don't necessarily think that's code switching.
I'm not necessarily saying that that's code switching, but it's like you should be able to, I don't want to say customize who you are, but you should be able to identify when you wear certain hats in the home. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Because we're more than, like, as for me, let me go a little deeper. I'm mom, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm also the alarm clock. I'm maid. I am the cook. I am Uber mom. I do all of it. And there comes a times when I can't have conversations with my 11-year-old that I have with my 22-year-old. And then it's kind of like when people come over, there needs to be an example of how you are able to, like, what Buck used to say, like, communicate with people on both sides of the tracks. Mm-hmm. You need to be able to
be able to talk to people on both sides of the fence.
It's called, I mean, I don't know what I was thinking about when I wrote this question, but I know I was onto something. First of all,
you thought you was gonna cook with that question, didn't you?
But I do want to know. No, but I
sure was on. No, like, come on.
I don't know, but is code switching necessary in the home?
Well, I think that what examples you gave are just like being able to, I think we all have to show up in different spaces and different relationships and interactions and like that are in the ways that's appropriate for that. But I think that like code switching to me is when you have to deny the essence of who you are. Mm-hmm. And so like I present a different person, like not a different person. I like have a different to my daughter. She's gonna get more of the playful side of me, whereas my clients are gonna get more of the empathetic side of me. Like they're gonna get different sides of me, but I'm always Brennan. Like all of those pieces are part of me, but I just have to lean into different sides of me in different scenarios. I think experiences where I've had to code switch Like, for instance, this is a small, like, symbolic thing, but like, I got my ears pierced when I was in college, and it was like, for me, it was a rebellious thing against my parents, but also it was like a stylistic choice. And when I got to work, they said I couldn't wear my earrings because like it wasn't professional. And for me, like they are now still a part. I still wear them as a therapist. Like I wear them to church. I wear them everywhere I go, and they're part of my style. And so I feel like if that's part of my essence or who I like, the style or my personality or whatever it is, like I shouldn't have to deny that for the space that I'm in. But oftentimes we as Black people, Black men are required to do that in order to
Yeah.
fit into different. Like I think about like the Obama effect. I think I said it. I don't know if I said it in that book, but I think it's been like 40 years since I wrote it. So sometimes I gotta remember some of those what I specifically said. But like, I know like what I was thinking about. What I was thinking about was kind of like video of how it was like a parody video that I think.
With the handshakes.
Yeah, with the handshake.
Yeah, with the
Oh,
handshakes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
He was
like
like,
this.
Key, what is,
Come on,
who is
brother,
it?
come
Key
on,
and
come
Yeah,
Peele?
on,
yeah,
Key
Key
and
and
Peele with
Peele,
the
Key and
handshakes.
Peele.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just kind of that I very like silly version of it. But like when I go into professional spaces, I think I like you have to put something on that you don't wear all the time, or you don't.
Mm.
You have to show up in a way that is not even is what is palatable to the space that you're in. And
That's the
so I
code
think,
switching right there.
But
yeah, yeah.
no, but my thing is that you know how let me see if I can like my former spouse was the type that would laugh and have a good time with his friends, but when he came home, it was like nothing. And it's just kind of like how outgoing he was and fun and things like that. Like he wasn't like that in the home. So is there something that should be done as far as like learning how to, I don't know, maybe code switching isn't the term I'm looking for, or I don't know what I was thinking when I read that. I need to reread that, but I don't want to reread it right now because it's 8:31.
We'll save it for the
But
second book.
I don't know. I was on to something because I was like, is it necessary in the home? That's a good question. I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna call you.
Okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
email you.
You can email me. You can email
I'm gonna
me.
She's
email
gonna
you
cook with
because
that
I'm gonna
question.
tell you it's gonna come back to me like this is why I asked that question. That's okay.
That's why you want to know. I feel you.
Don't worry
Well,
about
look.
it. And when I get the answer, I won't share it.
Oh well, don't.
I'm
I
gonna get that
won't.
book, man. I need that book in my life.
Don't you even worry about
And
it. So
Mike,
look,
we're gonna start doing some journals, brother.
to repeat you, no, I ain't did no journal.
I have one more question.
No.
I have
I
one
want
more
to try
question.
it now, man. I want to try it now. I want to try
Uh-huh.
it now.
All right. Go ahead, Phyllis.
This one is for me, not for a Black man. So I have I told you I started like on this book. And do not send me an invoice. Send it to Michael. So for chapter this is day 27. Psychological safety. This is something that we were kind of talking about. Psychological safety. So how can a man, well, it's for me too. I just phrased it as man. How can a man preserve and maintain good mental health while working in psychologically unsafe work environments and in toxic relationships?
Is there a way for him to get out of the toxic relationship or work environment currently?
He can quit.
I mean, I think
He can quit her and the job. That's all I'm saying.
Get up and
I
walk
think
out that door.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. I think you can set boundaries as much as possible, but ultimately, for me, boundary setting is really important. But I think ultimately the boundary is not being in that space. So like I was in a pretty toxic work environment for me. and it was affecting my home life. And so the boundary was I had to leave that job.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, yeah, I don't know that I think those are going to be drainers on your mental health. So I don't see that is possible, honestly.
Without him having to leave that environment. In
Mhm.
order to obtain it, they'll just basically have to leave that environment.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Listen, guys. So his book is called Breathe, a guided healing journal for Black men. It is available on Amazon. Listen, and this ain't it currently got 845 ratings at 4.5, 4.7 stars. That means
It's a good book.
It's a good journal. I love it. I'm going to be purchasing. I'm not just saying this. I'm going to be purchasing at least 3 more of these books and giving them to people who I know need them. I did not write in this book because I'm giving it to my son. I was writing in my own journal. And I'm definitely giving this to my son. And I have like 3 other people that I'm going to give this book to who I think I know it will be helpful to.
Yeah. Thank
so
you.
this
Thank you
stuff,
for your
man.
support.
Listen, you guys need to go ahead and pop on Amazon and get your copy, fellas. Get your copy.
Please.
Look, I know it's hard to talk about stuff, man. I get it. I understand. But we need to get to a point where we have to start breaking these cycles.
Yeah, we gotta stop saying it's hard to talk about it and just talk about it.
And we have to first of all acknowledge that, that thing is there and be able to say, okay, listen, all right, maybe I need a little help in this area, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? This is a great way to do it. You learn some things about yourself and learn some things about some people around you as well. So if you can pop on Amazon and check it out right now, it is currently available. So paperback $15.99. Look at, hey, you got an Audible version of it? Well, I guess you wouldn't need an Audible version because you got to actually kind of work in it. Never mind. Stupid question. Don't answer that. So look, but it is on Amazon. You can check them out. Why don't you give them like if you got your Instagram or if you do like social media and real quickly tell them about Breathe, brother, your organization.
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram at I am Brennan Steele. And I've just rebranded actually. It used to be Breathe Brother, but I rebranded to I am Brennan Steele. But Breathe Brother is essentially just like promoting healing and wholeness for Black men. And so that we do that through obviously resources like journals. We bring up church, but also we're starting to do a lot more consulting with local businesses that are supporting Black men and Black people in general in their mental health. So yeah, that's what we do.
That's what's up. All right, guys. Any other questions before we let Mr. Steele up out of here? Because he get paid by the hour, and we done ran over.
In your email address, because I know this question, what I wanted to ask, is gonna come up because it's gonna bother me.
I got you. So, I can give you.
I need your email, yeah, and I'm definitely gonna send it to you.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, we got an event, Brennan. We're gonna have to kind of keep in contact with you, man, because we got something coming up in November, and I'll relay that information to you as it becomes more solidified. And man, if you're available, man, we might have to bring you up here to the shop, treat you to some deep dish pizza, and cool. And work it out. Phil, don't you say nothing. If you mention Italian Fiesta, I'm muting you right now.
Man, no doggone deep dish pizza.
I'm gonna mute you right now.
Man,
I'm just gonna let you know, Brennan. Nobody really eats deep dish pizza other than
no.
Only tourists eat deep dish pizza.
Only tourists eat deep dish pizza. We eat Italian Fiesta.
Now don't get wrong. We eat deep dish pizza, but don't think that's all we eat, man.
I didn't say that. But see,
take them over 71st and Jeffrey.
See,
get them a family size sausage and cheese.
Yeah,
them take them over there on 130 Halsey and get them a 6-piece wing, mild sauce from Harold.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
And you know what you're gonna do when you get that pizza, Brennan? Instead of cutting the slice, you're gonna end up pouring the slice on your plate because it's greasy. We ain't taking you there. We're not taking you to it. See, this is what happens when you don't go outside of the hood You only know hood things.
No,
Italian
people go
Fiesta,
outside the hood, but the whole thing Italian Fiesta go hard. I'm sorry, you're not gonna
Italian
you're not gonna deter
Fiesta,
me.
Italian Fiesta
Not gonna
is the
deter
most
me.
ghetto pizza in the
The bad
world.
guy, if it ain't greasy, it ain't good, Brandon. I'm telling you that
It is
right now.
It is the most
Okay.
ghetto pizza in the
No,
world.
it's not. No, it's
We'll
not.
find
No,
a pizza place to go to. We definitely ain't going to Italian Fiesta.
you gonna take them to
I don't-
beggars? Take them to
No.
beggars?
No, why? So
Or
he can
home
choke
run
on
in?
some
Which
cheese?
one?
We'll figure it out. Anyway, listen. If we ain't got no other questions for this man,
Thanks a lot, bro. I appreciate you coming on.
we're gonna let
man.
him get
Yes,
back to his family and his baby. Hope she feels better. Look,
Yes.
man,
Thank you,
I
thank you.
appreciate you, my friend, and I thank you for coming on. Please know that you got a seat at Man Up, man. Anytime you
Yep.
want to come on, anytime you want to
Appreciate
promote
it, man.
anything, do hit us up and let us
Yes,
know,
sir.
man.
Anytime,
We
bro.
got you. We definitely appreciate you. So listen, that's it for us, man. We're about to get up out of here. It's the weekend. Go and enjoy yourself. Go and enjoy your family. If you don't do nothing else, love on somebody this weekend.
Yes, sir.
If you ain't called somebody, check in on your peoples. Can we start normalizing that, please? Can we start normalizing checking in on people just to see if you're all right? You ain't got to hold no conversation. You ain't got to send no
No.
whole page long text. Just say, hey man, just
Mm-mm.
checking in on you. What's
How
going
you
on?
doing, bro? How you doing today? That's all you gotta say.
Because if I hear Phil go in this bag one more time, look, and then he go use about. Oh my god, the level
Hey.
of professionalism.
Brandon,
And
we're
then he
gonna
go-
be
Yeah.
a lot more professional and
Yeah.
proper.
See,
I'm
look,
so
it's
sorry.
the
I
cheese.
apologize. I
And
think
it
I
got the
set it
hot-
off
it
tonight.
got the hot
and
turkey
that's-
curls in it.
I take full responsibility and
It's all
accountability
good.
for
It's
the
all
I,
good.
I don't know.
I
what it is,
apologize.
man.
Normally I'm
sorry.
together, but
Yeah, she's slipping. You know, at least one of us. But then she started off talking about porn. Listen, anyway, we ain't gonna even go there. We're not gonna even go there. See, this
Oh
is what
my
happens when you
God.
get older, Brendan. You just don't care. It's just
Nah, you just hey man,
You don't
everything
have a
got the window
filter.
down, bro.
don't
hey,
have a
listen.
filter. It's terrible. It's like,
Hey, I
whatever.
survived all these years. I got the right. For real. I'm from
Sorry.
Chicago.
It is what it is. So look, you guys, we appreciate you all. We love y'all. You all have a great weekend. And on behalf of
sir.
our guests, Brennan Allen Steele, and on behalf of Mr. Classic and Miss Phyllis, make sure y'all get that book. Make sure y'all get it. I promise you, you ain't gonna regret it. Listen, that's it for us. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And until we talk again, my friends, y'all get 2 fingers to the side. Make sure you holler at your boys and your girl. We out.
Peace.